Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. Let's get some music going here. It's a beautiful day.
So you're in a hurry? Well, you better calm down. We're all friends around you, just join the fun. 'Cause if you're in a hurry, you're missing the point. You should enjoy the fruits of life instead of chasing coins. Because it's a beautiful day. Isn't so come on, let's play. Forget the rush, you're in and find a good spot. Sit down and join us as we sing a good song. Kick back, relax, and just follow along. Oh, we got plenty of time. Taking it easy won't cost you a dime. Throw another log onto the fire. Because it's a beautiful day. And come on, let's play.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? Hi, Kathy Hand. Thank you for sharing. Good morning, Andrea. Mama Hada Bear, Kathleen, good morning to you. Where is everybody? Wake up, wakey, wakey. Let's go ahead and get going this morning and let's telepathically call in our P's. Oh, blue. Thank you, Pocky. I got purple squeaks this morning. Good morning, Deirdre. All right, so let's go ahead and go into our hearts. Hand on the heart. That brings the focus right into your heart center. And then slow down the breathing. And then we add in the good stuff. We add in love and joy and happiness and compassion. So let's just take a few deep breaths in and slowly back out. Remember your magnificence. Remember that you are a spark of the divine and you are loved. I am worthy. I am enough. I am happy. I am ready to greet the day. I am love. I am light. And I am peace. I'm so happy you all are here this morning. And we have Rick Morrow coming in. Good morning, Rick. Deirdre, I am blessed and grateful to be in a loving relationship with all my peas. I am so happy that you're here, Deirdre. And thank you for sharing. And thank you, Kathy Hand, for sharing. Catherine Kovacs, good morning. Catherine, I loved your post on Facebook yesterday. And yes, you are such a beautiful part of this family. Thank you for being here. Tammy Fisk, I'm so glad that you are here. Good morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. It's Wednesday. Hump day, as our Deirdre would say. And I'm going to pull a card from Kuan Yin for us for this amazing, powerful Wednesday. This is going to be a very full day. There's a lot going on today. And I'm excited about our class tonight. Those of you that are in my class on Wednesdays, we are meeting a new angel that's very powerful, the angel of May. And wow, what a beautiful angel he is. Catherine, I'm grateful to be alive. Blue, I had a bunch of old resentment stuff that came up earlier. I was like, Scooby-Doo, what is that all about? And then I released it. I'm so happy to hear that it was released, that you let it go. You know, that's the thing these days. We know how to do that, don't we? We know how to let go. We know that holding on to it is only hurting ourselves. And the more we hold on, the more we hurt. And as soon as we release it, it is so powerful. And it's not even a thing. You know, it's like the blog where they talked about being familiar, and that when you drive a certain route over and over again, you don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to use your GPS. You just make the turns automatically. And it's the same thing with living in this human body. Once we do things over and over again, it's a habit, and we can make good habits. We can make that habit of something coming up to be recognized, to be dealt with, and then we know the road to let it go, don't we? Blue, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you for releasing it. Rick Morrow is grateful for my pea family. I love that. And yes, Kathy, Wednesday wisdom from Kuan Yin. I do have it. I'm going to take my last sip of my celery juice this morning. And it feels great to be doing the celery juice again. It really does. It's making such a difference. And Blue says, the more you release, then you can fill that spot up for what is needed, which is much love. Absolutely. Leo, good morning. Yes, happy Wacky Wednesday. We can get some wacky stuff going on up in here, can't we? It can also be Wow Wednesday, which I love, and just wanting to be wowed every day, every moment. I ask for that. I ask, can I have more of that, please? Can I have more happiness? Can I have more joy in my life? Uh-oh. Something went wrong. Okay, I'm not sure what went wrong, but I just got a big red message across my screen. I hope you all are still hearing me. And just say yes if you are. I don't know what that was all about. Crystal Nobles, good morning. I'm so glad that you're back with us. We miss you when you're not here. And today is prayer day. We're going to be, okay, thank you, Rick and Andrea and Kathy. Yes, we're going to be sharing the prayers today so you all can see all of the names and be reminded that that's who we pray for every day. Mama Hada Bear Kathleen says, I am ready for this perfect day. I am filled with faith. I am perfect health. I am expecting all of God's blessings, and I am joy. I love that, Kathleen, and just love you so much and lifting you up today. And Blue says, I am joyous light on a drop of water sparkling in the light. I am going to see Dolly again today. Oh, yay. I'm so glad you're doing that. Good morning, Annie7. All right, so Kuan Yin has a word for us. Let's see what that is. The veil of shadows. A lotus blossoms from the deep, rich mud into which she plunges her roots and draws great nourishment. From this mud, made of water and earth, growth happens and great beauty is revealed. Your soul lotus thrives in the depth of emotion and the aliveness of your body, into which she can plant herself and unfold as a lotus of light. Blue, I think that might have been speaking right to you this morning. So all of those things that happen, all of those low vibration experiences, whatever that might be, whatever comes up for us in life, we have the biggest growth when we go through some of those experiences, don't we? And I love the quote that the angels gave me for last night's blog. It's by Maya Angelou. I love her. Love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. And to me, those words, when I came across them last night, I thought, wow, that's a powerful thing, isn't it? Love is so powerful, and we don't even realize what the power of it is. We don't even realize how beautiful this thing is called love. The thing that Kuan Yin tells us that it's what heals. It's all we need. It's all that's real is love. And yes, I'm going to read this card again. And Blue, I really think Kuan Yin was speaking directly to you about what was going on and what you released. It's the veil of shadows. A lotus blossoms from the deep, rich mud into which she plunges her roots and draws great nourishment. From this mud, made of water and earth, growth happens, and great beauty is revealed. Your soul lotus thrives in the depth of emotion and the aliveness of your body, into which she can plant herself and unfold as a lotus of light. We are all lotuses of light. We all have that unfolding inside of each of us. Sometimes it gets a little covered over, doesn't it, with the darkness. Sometimes when those emotions take us to that really dark place and we think we're alone, we think that nobody cares. We think that, oh, there's just no hope in the world. There's so much going on. But in reality, we need those dark moments just as much as we need the happy, happy, joy, joy. We need the balance. And that's what Kuan Yin, that's what the angels, that's what Spirit has been talking to me about lately, is balance. And that's one reason why I started doing the juicing again. My body needed to be detoxed. It needed to come into a balanced state. I also have been watching everything that goes into my body to make it more alkaline. Because when your body's in an alkaline state, it heals so much faster. Everything just comes into play perfectly. Everything that you drink, I drink alkaline water, everything you eat, and yes, there are certain foods that will help with that, and there's certain foods to avoid. And when we pay attention to what our body is asking for, and we give it that, then it comes back into balance, and the cells start to pay attention, and everything starts to work perfectly, just as our Marietta teaches us. Everything is working perfectly. And then we get into the AAA, and we start accepting, aligning, and allowing. And Kathy says, Bob is feeling a little better today. He's still congested and coughing, but no fever or body aches. I am so happy to hear that. And we're still lifting him up high for a blessing. And Blue says, I feel like there is a lotus on my high heart. I feel that too, Jane. And as soon as I was reading this card, I knew that Kuan Yin was speaking to you. I knew that she was telling you exactly what your heart needed to hear. You know, sometimes our brain can't really grasp what spirit is saying to us. Sometimes the heart has to communicate it to the brain in a way that it understands. And I think that's what was happening here today. That was for you to have more clarity about things and more clarity about the emotional state. And remember what Michelle Landers had told us just a few days ago. This moon and this eclipse really brought in some high, powerful energy. And we all felt it. The moon has such a draw on our emotions, just like it does on the water. You see the tides affected. You see all of the water on the planet affected by the different phases of the moon. Well, we are mostly water inside these human bodies. So, of course, we're going to be affected. There's going to be a pull on our energy as we go into a full moon or a new moon or whatever stage it is. There's going to be an effect on our energy when there's a lunar eclipse, when there are solar flares, whatever it may be. And then we're going into retrograde, if we're not there already, with Mercury. So you know what? There's a lot going on. But, and there's a but, we have choices. And the more informed we are about things, then the better choices we can make, right? The more we can be aware. And it's that self-awareness that Kuan Yin and the angels have really wanted us to get a grasp of. The self-awareness about how things do work. You know, we didn't have this kind of information years ago when our ancestors were alive, and they had to just feel it and go with it. They didn't know that the moon was pulling on their energy. They didn't know anything about solar flares. You know, this is all new information. And when we now look at, oh my gosh, we have instant information with the internet. We can pull up anything that we want to know when we Google it. Our ancestors didn't have that. My mom and dad didn't have the internet to go look up, you know, what was going on with, you know, whatever was happening in the world. They just had to rely on newspapers or word of mouth. So interesting the times we live in, isn't it? And Michelle is here. Good morning, Michelle. And she says, and yes, we are in Mercury retrograde. Well, let's cheer on Mercury retrograde. Let's say, bring it on, Mercury. We gotcha. We understand you more and more as we live and experience life. We learn how to adapt. We learn how to roll with the punches. And we know that we can expect certain things like, the electronics don't work as well. Things happen. And now we have that information that we can say, oh, okay, I understand this. I'm not going to get so upset when the computer doesn't come on right away, or when the internet gives me a message that says something went wrong, but yeah, we're still going. So I don't know what went wrong, but we are still online. You are still hearing, and we are still here. So yeah, it's just one of those things that we learn to live with. And the information that we have helps in the way that we adapt to it, in the choices that we're going to make regarding it. Thank you, Michelle. I can't wait to see you tonight. We have our class going on tonight. It's such a great day. I'm really excited. Marietta says, yes, it is EIWP and AAA. All love, always, always. Hallelujah. Yes, yes, yes. And Blue says, I don't think Mercury retrograde is a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. It seems to be a tool to bring back mindfulness. And I think it also teaches us patience. That's my thought. There's nothing we can do about it, right? We can't change the directory and the trajectory of the planets. We have no control over that. But what we do have control over is, how do we respond? How do we go into these energies, into the experiences of life, and how do we think? How do we feel? How do we act? So it really is something that we have control over as far as we're concerned with our emotions and with our actions, with our thoughts. Yeah, exactly, Deirdre. Let's cheer on retrograde. Let's say thank you. It's just like any energy. And I've said this many times, and it's not an easy lesson, but it is a lesson that when something is not going your way, when there's an energy that's coming at you, and maybe it's a person that, for whatever reason, they want to be argumentative, or they don't want to get into the flow, whatever's going on, send them love. Love them anyway. That's my philosophy anymore. If something is happening and somebody's attacking, and y'all know I've been through a lot with some of that lately, with the psychic attacks and the spiritual attacks, love them anyway. When we resist, when we say, oh, that's horrible, and I'm just going to go hide in my corner, that's not helping anything. That's not helping our growth. That's not mending fences. And if you haven't read the blog last night, it's all about relationships. We have relationships of all different kinds, not just romantic. We have friends, we have family, we have our soul group. So everything is about relationships as we learn and grow in this experience as humans. So it's a good thing to learn how to deal with those relationships, isn't it? It's a good thing to learn that whatever is happening in the relationship, just send love. Just bring in that powerful energy. I want to read that quote by Maya Angelou again. And welcome, Catherine Kovacs. So the quote is, love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, penetrates walls to arrive at its destination full of hope. And there's the word, right? Hope. Hope, because relationships can be so challenging. And sometimes there are those of us who say, oh, I just don't even want to participate in that anymore. I don't want to have relationships. But we can't avoid relationships if we're going to be in the world. So yes, we just have to learn how to adapt. And when we learn more about the interactions and how we can make it more of a spiritual journey, then those relationships can be so beautiful. Good morning, Linda Lemieux. Thank you for being here. And Blue says the Fae are swirling about chatting. One is nodding her head emphatically. They are excited about reading the names today. And also the grid goes back up. Yes, yes. I need to get to the names. If you have any to add to our list, please type that in the comments. And let's get going with our prayers. Kathleen says, when Mercury retrograde happens, I keep affirming that no matter what happens with the planets, I remain in divine order and right action. I love that. Okay, so let me get this going. And remember that all the names on this list are your loved ones. They're ones that you placed in our care. They're ones that you said, would you lift up my loved one because there's something going on? So as we see the names, just know that each one is a life. Each one has been placed there because somebody knew that we were going to lift it up as high as it could be lifted up, and that we were going to love on that person. Love is the energy that heals. All right, I'm going to close it so that I can open it. This is weird. All right, let's give it a minute. And Michelle is adding in her family. I think we have you on our list, Michelle, but we definitely are lifting you up high. And Deirdre prays for all humans, for Gaia, and for world peace. Yes, yes. All right, I don't know why it's not opening. Let's see if you can see it now. Okay, Mercury, you're not playing nice right now. All right, let me do it a different way. All right, so for all the P's for peace on earth, our Mama Gaia, we're lifting her up high. All right, so somebody please let me know that you can see the names as they change. Okay, we're having a bit of a technical problem this morning. Imagine that. So I am just going to read the names for us. Let me get to the screen so I can see it. Oh, you could see it. Yeah, I don't know why it said it encountered a problem. So we have Prachetta, Prachir, Navriti, Jasmine and her daughters, Abha, Billy and Tim, Sheila and Kevin, Gary, James, Loretta and Cecil, Joanne Castillo and her family, especially her daughter Jackie and her grandson Eris, Deirdre and her daughter Danya and her cat Thump, Deirdre's sister Steph and husband Bob, Adriel, Joni, Tia Frenetti, Elaine Bartoli, Suzanne and her family, and Suzanne is with her daughter Jillian right now, and travel prayers for her and for her granddaughter and her sister, Marietta and Ed and good girl Pearl, Claude, Raquel, Leo Harley and his family, DJ Blaze, Lakshmi, Ken, Chevy, Jim and son, Ryan, Rick and Josie, Tona Jaraba, Tammy Williams, Meg and Jim Loriot and their family, Jean and Ron Loriot, Christina and Carrie Leftwich and family, Mary Lou Burdick and her family, Catherine and Michael Kovacs and family and the fur babies, Roslyn Good Vibes, Sally and Tony, Kathy and Bob Hand and their family, Colin and Marlena, Bo and Candy Hand, Michael, Patty, Sonia, Paul and Marlene, Joe and his wife, Pat Moss, her family, her daughter and grandchildren, Olivia, who just had a birthday, and Tom and her sister Susan, Becky LaFave and Travis, Erica Hoppy and her family, Corinne, Charlie Coons and his family and his brother Raymond and wife Kathy, Hope Wellington Marshall, who really needs our prayers right now. We're lifting her up and her son Zena and her parents Winston and Cynthia, Trey Horn, Andrea Gregg, Catherine, Eric, John, Tatiana, Annie Seven, Grayson, Regina and Adam, Betty, Cassandra, Destiny Ortega, Luz Orsini and the grandkids, Christine Lewis, Gail and Nick Zimmerman, Jennifer and Micah Langren, Oksana and her mom, Amber, Jenna, Katia, Maximus and his teacher, Herb, Darlene, Brookie and her family, Girardi family, Jeanette and Ernie, Sean, Angel Fullerton, Lillian in Norway and her family, Kathleen Caputo. Kathleen, we're lifting you very high today. Colleen Straw, Catherine, baby Wyatt, baby Haven, Kat, Steve, Candy and Pastor Bruce, the Deerfield Valley in Vermont, Alba, Dottie and Don, Christina Schaff, Grace Isis and her father Edwin and all her sisters over in Kenya, all the children and their fur babies, Raymond, Darren Walker, Arthur Thompson, Karen Palmer and her family, Vicki King, Elaine Armstrong, Elena, Marianne, Henrik and Lorraine, Tammy Fisk and her daughter and her sister Tracy. And Tammy, we're adding your dad in there, your biological dad that you've just connected with, Lori, Kelly, Rochelle and your mom Rose, Stephen, Catherine, Ruth Anderson and her family. Lift them up this week. They're getting ready to move into a home. And her sister-in-law, Sharon. And I want to add in Ruth's sister and her brother-in-law, Charlie, who just went through a traumatic event in the hospital and is doing better, but still needs our prayers. Jeannie and her sister Merle. I just saw Jeannie. She's doing well. The whole area here in Boulder, Colorado. Deb Goldberg and her family. Michelle, Crystal and Dean Nobles, and sons Gabriel and Jacob and Brody the dog. Laura Hill, Joanne Rice, Julia Osborne, Sharon Rhea and her family. Sherry Gatewood and her brother-in-law. Hummingbird, Tammy Hill and family, Bill B., Lynn Gallagher, Terry Wilderman and her father, Mary C. and her friends, Irene and Eduardo, Eddie Quills, Jose, Mary, Joshua, James, Drake, Alicia Burns, Pam Dite, Betsy, Kimberly, Ellen, Sue Seekoff and Richard, Terry Gilstad, the Walters family, Giara, Marissa, Allie, Bree, Claudia, Marianne Pishi and her family, Cassandra and Danny Gary, Lenny, Rick Olphick, John Thaddeus Fiore, Kuka Carney and her family, Bob Simon and Sherry Otis, Sharon Boyle and Zoe, Carol Fisher, Jay Rothman and Mary, Deborah, Violet, Walter, Brookie's Aunt Jeannie, Shelley, Sue and grandchildren, Carrie's mom, Maggie's mom, Freddie, Bradley Capone, Andy, Amanda Summer, Robert Dosa, Miles and Sarah, Deborah Carol Hawks, who needs a kidney, Carl, Brutus the dog, Augie the dog, Chris Blake, Dante, Jerry, Kaylee, Trevor Gordon, Richard Weber, Charlotte Abrahams, Michelle Landers, and family. If there's any that you want to add on to that list, please type it in the comments. I'll add them in after we get off the air. So our prayer, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Let's really take in those words today. Let's let our whole being get into the energy of bringing more love, more light into the world. Let's love on our earth planet, sending energy of love right down into the earth so that Mama Gaia can take that energy and bring it back up to all of us, every inhabitant of earth. We're asking for divine to look at all these prayer requests, all of these names, and all that you're going to add to it. And we're just going to give an energy of gratitude and love and know that the spirit that lives in me is the same as the spirit that lives in you. And we love on each other, and that's what we're all about. We are a family of love. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for participating in the prayers today and for seeing all of those prayers and seeing everyone that is important, because everybody is. Everybody matters. And that's the whole beauty of it all. Everybody matters. We're all the same. There's no one less than, there's no one greater than. We all are just pure love, and we're all connected through love. So thank you for lifting each other up. Thank you that Wednesday is prayer day, and that we know who we're praying for throughout the week. Every time we go into a prayer, we're lifting up every one of those names. And thank you for sharing them with us. And Jean says, for those on our list, I very much keep our grid activated. For those in the grid, they not have the energy for Mercury's dance through it this time. Our Hope Wellington Marshall is very much on my heart these days. She is on mine too. All right, so I see you've already done the heart telephone, but let's all do it on the count of 3, 2, 1. Thank you. I love you. Going to play a little bit of Leo for us, and we're going to get out of here because we got lots to do today. There's a whole lot of work going on. And Blue says, all names pass through my hands filled with grace. Thank you. I love you. I will send a Dolly photo later. Yay. I can't wait to see that Dolly photo. Let's have a cuppa full of joy to get us out of here.
Good morning, Earthlings. It's time to get up and get ready because today's the perfect day to have a great day. Here we go, come on, come on. Come on, let's play. It's a beautiful day. If you woke up this morning, might as well be part of it. One on the peace for peace, on our mission for harmony. You and me, mama, be on the lead wherever we may be. We create a portal where we can be together. The heart telephone is always one phone call away. Calling on the guys, the angels and the masters. Take a deep breath, we're going into a new dimension. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day at 8. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day at 8. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of. Cuppa full of joy, full of light, full of love. Bottomless refuse, spilling out from the top. Here, the coffee's always hot and the trust is always yours. The sun is calling out to play, let's put on a show. Today's a new day, we all part of this game. Let's play to win. Love always is the winning team. And you can side with us, there is always no space in the pot. For more love, take a spot and get the day started. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day at 8. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day at 8. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Give me a cuppa full of. There really is no secret. We simply accept, allow. AAA, morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day at 8. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day at 8. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cuppa full of joy. Cuppa full of joy. Cuppa full of joy. Give me a give me cuppa joy. 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 Give me a cuppa joy.
Woo! I hope you brought your cup in and got it filled up today. Stay in your heart. Stay blessed. I love you so much. Namaste, y'all. I will see you later.